Number 10. July 17th, 1981. Kansas City, Missouri. A hotel lobby packed with people, music in the air. A crowd gathered below two suspended walkways, shoulder to shoulder, watching the party from above. At 7:05 p.m., both walkways collapsed. In seconds, the lobby turned into a crushing trap of steel and concrete. One moment, dancing. The next, panic, dust, and screams. 114 people died. 216 were injured. Investigators later focused on a detail that still feels unreal: a small change to the walkway's support design. The kind of change that looks harmless on paper, the kind of change that's close enough, until the laws of physics collect their payment. This wasn't a mysterious act of fate, it was a math problem, and the answer was tragedy. Number 9, April 16, 2014, South Korea. A ferry named Sewol leaves port with passengers expecting a routine trip, many of them students on a school excursion. Hours later, the ship is tilting, then it's rolling, then it's sinking, slowly enough that the world can watch it happen. 304 people die. What makes Sewol so painful isn't only the images, it's the pattern. Investigations pointed to a nightmare mix. The vessel had been modified, overloaded, and its cargo poorly secured, making it unstable. A turn becomes a tipping point. And in the chaos, the systems meant to protect life fail at the exact moment they're needed most. It's the kind of disaster that doesn't just break a ship, it breaks trust. Number 8. April 24, 2013. Dhaka, Bangladesh. A building called Rana Plaza. The day before it collapses, there are visible cracks, large enough that people panic. Some businesses shut down immediately, but garment workers are told to go back inside. In the morning, the building collapses in seconds. 1,134 people are killed. About 2,500 are injured. This is what preventable looks like when it's almost too clear to argue. The warning signs weren't hidden in a report. They were on the walls. And still, the machines were turned on. The lines kept moving, and the price was paid in human lives. Number 7. January 28, 1986. The United States. The Space Shuttle Challenger stands on the launch pad as millions watch. Teachers show it in classrooms. Cameras lock onto history. 73 seconds after liftoff, Challenger is gone. 7 crew members die. Later findings point to a failure in rubber seals, O-rings, made worse by unusually cold temperatures. The brutal part isn't that engineering can fail. The brutal part is that concerns about those seals, especially in the cold, had been raised before. Discussed, logged, known. When people say it was preventable, they're not being dramatic. They're stating the hardest truth in engineering. Disasters don't always start with explosions. Sometimes they start with a meeting where someone decides to proceed anyway. Number 6. June 14, 2017. London, Grenfell Tower. A fire begins in a single apartment, something that, in a safer world, should be containable. But the flames reach the exterior, and suddenly the building itself becomes fuel. 72 people die. Years later, the message from investigators is devastating in its simplicity. These deaths were avoidable. Not unlucky, not unpredictable, avoidable. Grenfell is what happens when safety is treated like an optional cost, when warnings don't become action, and when the people most at risk are the easiest to ignore. Right up until the night the whole world can't look away. Number 5. January 25, 2019. Brazil. Near the town of Brumadinho, a mining tailings dam collapses. What follows isn't a flood of water, it's a moving wall of sludge, heavy and fast, smashing through buildings, burying roads, swallowing everything in its path. 270 people are killed. The footage looks unreal because the speed is unreal. And the questions are even heavier. How does a structure holding back that much waste fail? How many warnings were missed? How many checkboxes were ticked while risk quietly grew behind them? In disasters like this, it's not just the dam that collapses. It's the idea that someone, somewhere, was truly watching. Number 4. April 20th, 2010. The Gulf of Mexico, Deepwater Horizon. An offshore drilling rig working over a well that reaches deep beneath the seabed. Complex, expensive, high pressure, high stakes. That night, explosions rip through the rig. 11 workers are killed, 17 are injured. The disaster escalates into one of the worst oil spills in history. Later investigations describe a chain reaction. Human errors, mechanical failures, and management decisions stacking on top of each other until the system finally breaks. This is the anatomy of a modern catastrophe. Not one mistake, but a dozen minor choices, each one survivable, until they align into something fatal. Number 3. December 2nd into December 3rd, 1984. Bhopal, India, a city asleep, a chemical plant storing extremely dangerous chemicals. Then, a leak begins. Methyl isocyanate, a toxic gas that can kill in minutes. The air turns into a weapon. At least 3,800 people die immediately, and the long-term toll reaches far beyond that first night, as hundreds of thousands are exposed. Bhopal is more than a tragedy. It's a case study in how disasters are built over time. When safety systems are neglected, when maintenance slips, when emergency planning is weak, you don't just create risk, you store it. And eventually, it escapes. Number 2. August 4th, 2020. Beirut, Lebanon. At the port, a massive stockpile of ammonium nitrate, reported as 2,750 tons, has been stored for years without adequate safeguards. The kind of material that, handled correctly, can be useful. Handled carelessly, it becomes a bomb. A fire breaks out, then the city explodes. At least 218 people are killed. Over 7,000 are injured. Hundreds of thousands are displaced. The shockwave tears through neighborhoods, shatters windows miles away, and leaves a crater where a port used to be. What makes Beirut unbearable is how slow the setup was. Years of warnings, years of paperwork, years of delays, a disaster built by bureaucracy, until the moment it becomes instant. Number 1. April 26, 1986. Chernobyl, the Soviet Union, now Ukraine. A nuclear power plant runs a late-night safety test. But the system is fragile in ways that shouldn't exist. Design vulnerabilities, procedural failures, human decisions under pressure, and then the reactor explodes. 2 workers die that night. In the weeks that follow, 28 more die from acute radiation sickness. The contamination spreads across borders, across maps, across lives that never agreed to be part of an experiment. Chernobyl is number 1 because it shows what preventable really means at the highest stakes. It's not just a technical failure. It's a failure of culture, where warnings are inconvenient, where rules are flexible, where saving face matters more than stopping the test. When safety culture dies first, the disaster is already on the way. Those were 10 disasters that could have been prevented. 10 places, 10 systems, 1 repeating pattern. Warnings exist, and humans choose what to do with them. Which one hit you the hardest, and what disaster should have been on this list?